So every spring nationwide you have Record Store Day, and we have a handful of world-class record stores right here in Utah. We're going to talk about some of them today. Some of my favorites, of course, Heavy Metal Shop, Peddlin' Evil since 1987. I love it. Let's go take a look. How do you survive Peddlin' Evil in a place like Salt Lake City?
Well, I think Salt Lake City needed it more than most places. I don't know. Just my love of music is why I think it worked out.
Being a rock and roll icon in Salt Lake City, like you've stuck it out, right? Like you've been in bands here. You played at the Speedway. You opened for bands that went on to be huge and famous, and now those bands are wearing your logo. Like that's got to be pretty cool, right?
We owe a lot to Slayer because they wore our stuff a lot, and they did that on their own. I mean, it was just Tom Araya's very cool. And
in 1995, I swiped a Swingin' Utter sticker off of your cash register.
Oh, did you?
And I put it on my car, and I feel bad about it.
So you peeled it off?
It was on the side of the cash register.
Was it Swingin' Utter? You know, I think they stuck that on there.
Okay, I actually get to put a sticker on the counter at the Heavy Metal Shop. Can I pick where? Here? There's a dead space right here.
Yeah, that's good. Sure.
Huge pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Here on 9th South, about 1st East, so you have Heavy Metal Shop right over here, and right across the street since 1978, Randy's Records. Let's go have a look. So Randy's Records has been around since October 1978, when Randy was in the Vietnam War and his brother would send him records to get a little taste of home. That's when he decided he loved music. 45 years later, celebrating a vinyl revival of sorts. This reminds me of like some of the record stores that aren't around Utah anymore. You had Modified, you had Starbound, you had Pegasus. And then you started seeing these big box stores like Media Play, and the little stores kind of started dying out, and then digital music hits, and they were all gone, except for just a handful that are still here. And Randy's Records still killing it, man. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me some punk rock, and I'm gonna get me some Captain and Tennille. Love will keep us together, man. Literally, every thrift store you go to will have this record for like $1. If you were to come and buy a Metallica calendar from 1997, it'll be good again in 2025. So $10. So you think about going back to 1978, Randy's Records first opened. They have these record rooms where you'd go and you'd be able to kind of preview the record, find out if it's something you want. So you have one of the original doors, which I noticed a KNAC logo and a KCPX logo. We're missing a KRSP logo. Randy Rose, Alan Haig, Doug Wright, and, of course, Jon Smith. 40 years later.
Does he forget about me? Am I not the second?
You're there too.
Show?
You're there too. So that's Randy's Records. Great record store. You have a lot of like iconic rock and roll venues in Salt Lake City and Utah in general. You had the Terrace Ballroom in the 60s and 70s, of course, Lagoon. And then you had the smaller venues where we would go and see bands that would go on to be huge. You had the basement of Club Deviate. You had the Zephyr Club. Oh, we should go check out the where the old Speedway Cafe was. Okay. This is 505 West, 500 South. And once upon a time, this was the Speedway Cafe. Back in the day, you'd see bands like Nirvana as an opening act. You'd see GBH, TSOL, the Smashing Pumpkins.
Here?
Yeah, right in there.
There's no way.
Let's see, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, before anybody had ever heard of them.
Did it look like this?
It looked actually worse. The area's cleaned up quite a bit since then. It was a blast. There's one more record store I want to go check out. It's in my home stomping grounds of Taylorsville. Let's go out to the west side. So one of my favorite record stores didn't actually start as a record store. Gray Whale was Gray Whale CD Exchange. In fact, in 1986 when they opened, they were quite possibly the first CD exchange location in the world. I think that's why vinyl has made a comeback, not just because it sounds better, which it does. People will fight me on that all day. But there's something about just holding the actual record in your hand and going, yeah, dude, I own this. This is mine. I actually may buy this one. They've re-released it on vinyl. It's a 35th anniversary. As if this is something we need to remember. So back in the 90s, man, this was my store. I'd say probably at least 80% of every tape or CD I ever bought came from this store. Well, it was actually down there, but it was the same mall, and it was still Gray Whale. My thanks to Gray Whale, my thanks to Kevin Kirk from the Heavy Metal Shop, and to Sam and Randy from Randy's Records in Salt Lake City. Happy Record Store Day! Go buy some records, support your favorite artists, and support some local businesses. Like it, subscribe to it, comment below on what you want to see next time on Cool Stuff in Utah. See ya.
Your love